Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Conversations. I'm Caster MJ. Let me introduce my two co-hosts. First we got Deadly.
Hey guys.
And up next we got the One-Eyed Crow.
Hey everyone.
So before we jump into our topics this week, guys, I just want to mention that this channel, as well as our Discord and competitive team, we're all sponsored by Immortal Workshop. You'll be able to see Immortal Workshop's link down below in the description. It is an affiliate link, so you could just click on that link and it will let Immortal Workshop know that you came from us. Or you could just use code CasterCorner at checkout. Jesus, learn how to talk, Matt. So we're going to just go over this week. If you haven't been able to tell from the topic, the title of this episode already is print runs. So this may be a controversial topic for some people right now at this point in time. There has been some news over print runs that people have been talking about in the Discords because Mike dropped some news in one of the MetaZoo hours. But to start out, we are just going to go over the past sets and what the print runs were there. So with that, I'm just going to pass the mic over to the One-Eyed Crow, and he's going to give us the facts on the print runs of the past sets.
Awesome. Yeah, so I actually learned a lot with this research. I didn't realize that Kickstarter and CN1 didn't have the same print runs across the board. But Kickstarter for booster boxes had 2.5 thousand booster boxes, 2,000 blister packs, 1,000 spell books, 2,500 theme decks, and no release event boxes. CN1 had 25,000 booster boxes, so 10 times the amount of Kickstarter, 20,000 blister packs, 10,000 spell books, 25,000 theme decks, really 10 times everything, but then added in release event boxes at a print run of 20,000. Nightfall.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. Because again, I passed this information to you because I did not know this information myself off the top of my head or anything like that. So does that mean that there are no like Kickstarter gassies, no Kickstarter of any of those release event decks from CN?
Until I really kind of researched this, I didn't really think of the fact that I've never seen one. So I don't believe
Yeah, I've never thought of that either.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know. I didn't know that either. can carry on.
Yep. Nightfall was the first set where we actually saw the same print run across all the SKUs, 50,000, which was, if I recall correctly, 40,000 in the US and then 10,000 outside the US. CN2 was 75,000 total, and it was 62,500 in the US. The rest was outside the US. And then Wilderness was the first set that was 50-50. It was a 100,000 print run. It was 50,000 in the US and 50,000 outside the US. UFO, I couldn't find information on. What we do know is it's 100,000 of each SKU. I imagine it's the same as Wilderness, where it was split 50-50 inside and outside the US. And the UFO was the first time that Australia got it at the same time we did.
Oh, wow.
Now, every other set we've heard in the Discords how late they've been getting product.
Yeah,
but,
months.
Do you know by? I didn't ask you to do this research, so if you don't know this, that's fine. But do you know what countries by chance they do send product to?
Every country, no, but I know there's European countries. We know the UK, right? We have people from the UK. I believe Germany. I've talked to some people from Germany that get it. I don't know if they're buying it online and getting it shipped to Germany, say, but I'd imagine major European countries and
assuming Canada.
Australia. Yeah, Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, probably Canada.
Canada's probably pretty easy to send to. I don't know logistically, but
I would assume
distance-wise,
a good portion of the people that watch my channel are from Canada, so I'd imagine that they have product.
Hey, Canada!
Yeah, yeah. I believe that's where Jody is from, right? From MetaZoo HQ, even.
Jody,
So, yeah,
Alan, the guy that has the MetaZooSR.com secret rare tracker.
And
He's from-
Pee-Weezo is
Pee-Weezo.
from Canada too. So yeah, there's got to be some people up there. So Deadly, with those past sets and the print runs, what has been your opinion as both a player and a collector? Has it been easy for you to collect and get cards? Has it been hard? Do you care about the print runs of those past sets? Just give us your opinions on that, man.
So, my opinion on the print run is I really don't have a huge opinion on these upcoming sets. I'm going to buy the cards. It's going to be easier with a larger print run. But to be honest, I actually...
Right now we're just talking about what you thought about like the past sets.
The past sets.
Yeah, the print
So
runs
the-
of them. Like,
well,
did you think they were too big? Do you think they were just right? Do you think
No, I think they're
were-
perfect. So when you go from Kickstarter and then you go to CN1, so I don't dabble too much in Kickstarter and CN1. CN1, I have my fair share of collection. My favorite cards, ones that I want to hold on to. But when you get into CN2, I really like the fact that they have an abundance of more valuable cards in the CN1 set. So there's the double up on the print run. But then also you go into the promos and everything. I like the chase. I like chasing cards. I like finding what I need out of a set. So when it comes to the print run, I like a set that I can afford, but I don't want a set that's super easy for me to obtain. So there's like a happy medium for me in regards to the print run. So whatever that looks like for a print run, that's what I want. I don't know what that actually looks like, but I like a chase too.
And you've been happy with the way it's been so far, even with like UFO and the MSRP and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of a different topic, but it kind of ties into what you were just talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the MSRP, if you really want to wait, you can wait and you can find it at a cheaper amount. But I think at an average rate, $150, $139.99.
I agree. To me,
It's about an average amount that I would spend on a box. And yeah, I would like to get it a little lower so that I feel better about the pulls that I get. But overall, it's a fluctuating market with the MSRP and everything, and that plays into the print runs, right?
No, yeah, awesome. I completely agree with that standpoint personally. The One-Eyed Crow, what is your opinion? I know up until like UFO, you've been pretty much a collector. But still, what's your opinion on how do you think the print runs in the past have been?
Yeah, so I if you recall from, I think it was last episode, I jumped in around the time that CN2 came out, so 2 or 3 months after Nightfall. So Nightfall, it was kind of, it wasn't super expensive when I jumped in, but it was kind of up there. CN2 was easy to jump into, right? At the time, I didn't care about print runs at all, so I wasn't really considering the print run to the cost of, say, Nightfall, which is, up until UFO, my favorite set.
Yeah.
But kind of looking back with what I know now, right? It makes sense why those cost more. They're harder to obtain because their print runs were small, right? From a collector standpoint, it's hard because you don't want a lot in the wild, but you also want to be able to obtain them for a reasonable price, right? Like I have come to terms with the fact that I will likely never own a CN1 or a Kickstarter Mothman, right? Because that's just too expensive on the secondary for me at this time, right? So from a collector's standpoint, I actually, I prefer higher print runs because I want to be able to get them, and then, over time, those will be eaten up. And then the way that I've looked from a player standpoint is more about the future of MetaZoo, and that's really once the IP takes off, right? There's going to be a huge influx of interest in MetaZoo, people either wanting to collect it because they like the IP, or they want to start playing if they're, maybe used to Pokemon or Magic and want to give it a go. So the way that I've been looking at it is these higher print runs like Wilderness and UFO allow for that boom once the IP goes out. I forgot exactly who it was off the top of my head that had mentioned it in one of my comments, though, that when you have those higher print runs, you're also having these LGSs that are, eating that up. They have to get that allocation, and it's sitting on their shelf until that boom, right? So there's the balance of having the availability for new people that want to get into it, but also, making sure that your LGSs are taken care of and they're not sitting on product until that boom happens.
For sure. One thing that was coming to my mind while you were talking was kind of, it seems to me like this print run thing has to dance like a fine line between, is this for collectors or are we about the players here? You know what I mean? And just like a lot of things in life, there's that fine where you gotta just fine tune it and do that dance until you find what works in a way. You know what I mean?
People are trying to. It's funny. It's very funny that you say that because people are trying to find that fine line. Well, people are trying to predict the market, and they don't like it when it doesn't go their way. And then when it doesn't go their way, then they start saying, "Well, this print run's too big, and this and that." I mean that. So. Because honestly, send it out and let the product sit there, and if the game catches on, it's there for the taking. If they want to lower their print run, then by all means, that's a strategic move in a already thriving company that has a fan base, and they're saying, hey, listen, we're going to step back. Maybe they do more promos. Maybe they come and do. I mean, obviously it's controversial, but maybe they do more collabs. I mean, maybe they decide to take a different route with they're saving money doing that and reallocating it into a different position. So if somebody has a problem with that, then they don't know how to run and operate a business then, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You have to make changes.
One thing I want to chime in on with my opinion too, that you mentioned, Deadly, is that you like the chase aspect of things sometimes. I 100% love that as well. And when we got in, it was mainly CN2 was selling kind of cheaper. Nightfall was starting to rise in price type of thing. We were mainly buying the booster boxes of the CN2 because the prices of the Nightfall were higher. And, that's just like some basic economics there where like supply and demand type of thing. But I remember when I found a deal on a Nightfall booster box, I drove 40 minutes to go get it or something like that. And I was so freaking excited, you know what I mean? And like, that was fun for me, you know what I mean? Like that's a part of like, to me, like just like the hobby in general. It's like I was able to meet somebody cool from this who now is in like the Discord and stuff like that, who I got a booster box from. And it was just thrilling for me, you know what I mean? Like it was like, yes, I got this, and I beat the prices on the internet and all, you know what I mean? And it was a chase for me, and it had to do with that lower supply, like the lower print run, you know?
Well, that's Nightfall for you.
And that was Nightfall, and that kind of segues into the news about the future set that will be coming out, which is Seance, and how its print run will be the same as Nightfall, I believe. One-Eyed Crow. Is that the fact there? You're the fact guy here.
That's the fact. 50,000.
So
I like it.
So yeah, go ahead. Share your opinion on that.
I like what Nightfall's doing in the market. I honestly, I don't think I've even resold like aftermarket sales, anything too much of Nightfall, and I still like what it does because I'm happy with the fact that if I need to buy some Nightfall, it's stabilized price and it's actually at a higher rate or a higher price than most of the sets. I don't know if that's because obviously the print run, but are less people ripping it? I feel deep down inside me, I feel like less people are ripping Nightfall just innately because of that lower print run. They're like, all right, So you got all the investors and everything like that, and the collectors. They're all like, well, this is the set to save because there's only 50K. So now it's going to turn into a seance.
I have an interesting thought that just popped into my head. With the lower print run, will there be the same amount of secret rares?
I would assume yes.
I would imagine so.
I would assume that they see them relatively the same.
So that would make the pull rates twice as great then.
1 in
essentially.
22,000, I believe, is what it would be.
Yeah.
As opposed to it was larger number for the larger print run.
Is that $22,000 that I spend, or is that 22,000? Like, what is that? What is that increment?
I don't like the odds, honestly. I still don't like the odds, but
Yeah.
I like that my odds went up. I'll say that. You know,
Sure.
It's worse odds than that, actually, because that's the odds for Old Scratch, which was only in booster boxes. So it actually
Gotcha.
would be lower. Because
It will
you're
be
also
worse,
considering
yeah.
Spell
Yeah.
books and everything else.
yeah. But Ian, the One-Eyed Crow, what is your opinion on the Seance print run? I know that you have mentioned in some of your own videos on your channel, Cryptid Nation News, recently that you had some opinions. In your last update, you dabbled on some of those opinions. So if you want to elaborate, go ahead, man.
Yeah. The biggest kind of opinion I have is I just want to make sure there's product for the boom, right? And with Wilderness and UFO already having print runs much higher, double what Seance is going to be, I think there's going to be that product that's going to be available for people that want to pick it up in 6 months to a year, right? Seance will be a newer set, but one of the things that, as we kind of popped into my head as we've been talking about it today, is you look at Nightfall, and that was a year ago, and the interest in MetaZoo was lower, right? It goes up over time. The interest is now higher with the same print run with Seance. How much of that's going to be scooped up, and with how we've seen the markets for Nightfall, how much of that's going to be tucked away in sealed collections and saved because it has a lower print run? So I'm a little on the fence about how Seance is going to affect the player base in terms of how much of it's going to be stored away and kept for the investors.
So, I believe the reason Mike said that he's doing this is because he's going to be having a bunch of other mini or like subsets or other releases during the same time period. Yep. So what I'm wondering, and there's no way for us to know this, I would assume at this point, are some of them maybe reprints of the Seance set? Maybe different artwork from like the partnerships or something like that, but like we don't know a lot of the Hero Quest cards yet. Maybe some of these Hero Quest cards are Seance cards. That's just an example. Maybe some of these like releases will be those Seance cards that are essentially missing. Maybe not all, but some. It's just a thought that I had.
There's definitely going to be big box, right? We already know that eBay is going to be tarot cards for Seance instead of something like a lunchbox. That's not to say that they're not going to do more than one eBay release, right? But if you look back over the past year, I don't think there was as many side products when Nightfall released. Right now we have Revive, we have eBay, we have Invasion Toys coming out, we have Hero Quest, we have all these extra side products.
The Pin Club,
right? So there is a lot competing with the core set, and I think that's fine, right? Because the way that I view the core set is it's for the players. That's where you're going to get your bulk of cards that you're going to play, and your collectors and your investors. Really, that's what the side products are for. So I do think what Mike said is true, right? We're in a much different spot than we were, even 6 months ago, with all of these side products that are coming out, and a lot of people do complain about wallet fatigue and whatnot happening there because everyone wants to participate in everything, right? So,
but it's exciting.
So from that perspective, it does make sense to lower the print run.
Yeah. this is just another thought here that I'm having as we're having this discussion. I personally don't think this is the issue, but I'm sure maybe people, this thought is coming across their minds, like, because they're doing all these other, projects as well, like maybe the cost of printing or something like that is in effect either. But I think their pockets run pretty deep, you know what I mean? Where I don't think that's the issue, but they're probably spending a lot of money right now to, it definitely, as a business owner, I know, like, it takes some money to make some money,
You have
so
to.
they're definitely spending right now.
Sure, and they have things planned out for a while, probably further than they've even let on to let us know. So
Yeah.
they already have a foresight and a vision into what that looks like. So for them to obtain what they want in the future, they pull back now with a print set still. So yeah, I mean, overall, that's what I agree on.
So, when we were, like, planning this episode and everything like that, I was sharing my opinion, and I thought that maybe it would be a different opinion, and I said that I personally do not care about the print runs, and my reasoning behind that is because I personally am an NFT holder. I own 2 tokens, and with that being said, I get products, like, I reserve products that every release there's going to be a booster box waiting for me that I could order no matter what. And the only reason I even bought the NFT was because I found out that fact, and I found out the fact that Mike said he would cap, the first editions releasing at 100,000 print run. So once I heard that news, that was, a number of months back, I went ahead and bought 2 NFTs. And, with that being said, if he lowers the print run to 20,000, I will still get my booster boxes either way. And me being a player, that's all that really matters to me personally. So I do believe that, Mike is entitled to do whatever he wants. I will be there either way. That's my opinion. Like, I'm a MetaZoo player. I'm here to play the game. I love to play the game. I love the artwork of the cards. I love collecting the cards. I'm gonna find a way to get those cards, like, regardless, type of thing. So it might even make it more fun if he lowers the print run. I don't know, but I will. Either way, I have secured myself some cards, and I've made sure that no matter what, even if the fan base goes up to 5 billion people who are buying MetaZoo, I get a booster box. So to me, that's just where I stand. I do know, though, I do have some conflicting opinions, and I've said this as well, to the guys here, where I do also agree with Ian at the same time, though, with, like, if it does blow up, I will feel bad for these new people coming in. One of the reasons Deadly has mentioned this in past videos where he's tried to get me to play Magic in the past. I don't want to play Magic. I don't. And the reason I don't is because I've never played it in the past, and I don't own a single card. And I don't want to play against people who've been collecting these cards for, 20 years now, and they have cards that I will never be able to get. That card is worth what? $17,000? Yeah, no, I'm never gonna be able to beat that card. Like, I can't.
There's different sets that go on, but I think what is it, like, Legacy? That's the main set. That's the one that gets crazy. But dude, think about it, though.
We're filming this episode right now on Wednesday, August 24th, 2022, and there was a MetaZoo hour today. And in that MetaZoo hour today, Mike was saying some stuff that goes along this lines again. And, I just... It's just my opinion, I guess, I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, Deadly. I threw off my train of thought because I was like, damn, I cut off Deadly.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But you're talking about a game that's been around for 30 years. So think about MetaZoo in 30 years if it does anything of what we want it to do or what what we expect it to do. So it's going to have cards that cost. Think about the lightning in a bottle hollow from your first caster cup. That thing's supposedly going to be like crazy.
So here's what Mike said. I'm sorry. This is where I lost my train of thought. He said that no cards are going to be banned.
Right.
So like that's where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, that $17,000 card might exist in MetaZoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
it's
I
going
would
to
just
be
feel
able to
bad
be
for that
played.
guy.
Yeah, we're already playing Gassies right now, and 20 years from now we still may be playing Gassy.
Yeah.
For us, we got it for $20.
And can we remember any of the reserve lists? Is Gassy on there?
Yes.
Yep,
So all the release decks and the theme decks?
Yep.
So not everyone as of now, but the Nightfall and the CN1 and CN2 ones are.
Okay.
Yes.
That's kind of what I was referring to when I said everyone. But yes, to be more specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They're 100% on that, so they will not be reprinted with the same functionality, at least.
There's a lot of cards out there. I mean, we should probably talk on an episode with what cards are on those print runs, because I saw a video early on and I bought a Father Sam. I think I bought it like $60, and I don't know what it's going right now, but at one point it was $100, $120. So
I think
it's not a high print run either. Yeah, so I sit on that. I mean, I want to play it too.
It's only 2,000, I believe it was, or 2,200, somewhere in that range.
Less than Kickstarter.
Damn, I really didn't know that about the release event decks for Kickstarter either. That kind of actually took me by surprise today.
I'm gonna have to do some further research on that just in case, but I didn't see anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't think I've ever seen a Kickstarter Gassy before, and I never even thought about it until this point in time.
I have a first edition, but I don't even think I've seen one because.
But going back to like the price of things, your first edition one is ridiculous right now. This second edition one is selling for like $50 or something like that right now. You know,
what's the first one going for? I mean, roughly, you think?
Oh man, I don't remember off the top of my head, but still, if there's not even a Kickstarter one, that means that there's even less of them out in the wild than regular, like, base set cards essentially, so again, like, if somebody wants to play it, the price of even like CN2 is going to be higher than, let's say, like a Piazza Bird or something like that, so I guess these things kind of do matter, but to me it's like I just love this hobby so much. I love this game so much. I love the artwork so much. I don't let it bother me. I will trade with somebody. I will, whatever it is, I'm gonna find a way to get these cards. We have a team. This is why I started the team as well. Like, we have people that, like in Dallas, for example, Deadly day 2, before we left for the hotel in the morning, I gave him, I think actually my Gassy, in case he needed to build a deck for the pseudo environment. I gave him a couple cards. But yeah, that's why we make these connections. That's why we have these communities. That's why we build these teams. We're all here to kind of help each other in a way. And I feel like it doesn't matter the print run. Like, if the community is thriving, if you have some people that you could rely on in this community, you're going to be able to access those cards at some point, and that's just my personal opinion on it.
I mean, Caster's Corner. I mean, you gotta buy, sell, trade.
Dude, I literally have gotten like half of my collection, like completing my binder, things like that. also like playing cards. Even like I mentioned in a previous episode, I got that guy that I'm Doug Gavin Hooter or whatever. I got him via a trade from one of our members in our Discord. I'm in there making trades all the time. Honestly, people post pictures. People post pictures. I just fucking DM them. I'm just like, ooh, that looks good. What do you want? But yeah, any last thoughts on print runs, on Seance's print run, anything like that? We'll start with you there, the one on Crow.
Yeah, I think along the lines of the people that truly care about the print runs right now, it's the investor collectors, the people that care about the value long term. The players, if you're just a player, say, I don't think they care about print run, right? It's exactly what you're saying. Do I have the cards I want available to me? Yes. Great.
Yeah.
And I guess I shouldn't say just the collector investors, because it's also LGSs, right? For the same reason of, we need to be able to get this product off the shelves and then make money to then get the next set and rinse repeat, right?
But on that lines, what do you think LGSs prefer? I know none of us here are an LGS, but do you think they prefer the smaller one so they could get rid of it quicker, or do you think they prefer a larger one?
Yeah. They fall under the category of collector and investor.
True.
That's my opinion. They're there. They're not collecting. They're not playing. They're investing. So.
No, it's true. I'd imagine they're gonna it's gonna depend on the size of the player base for an LGS, right? It's not necessarily how rare is the item is. It's how likely am I to sell this product to my core,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Patrons, right? So I don't think they necessarily strictly care about print run, but print run to player base ratio specifically for their area even.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Deadly. Any last thoughts on print runs, on past print runs, on Seance's print run, on anything that we've discussed?
I like the new print run. I approve. I approve that he's said that he's not going to go above 100K, and he's actually decided to lower it. And now people are freaking out, thinking that he said he was never going to do that. And even if he did, it doesn't really matter. 50K is good. I mean, I had no problem with Nightfall. We'll see what happens with Seance. Maybe they needed more. Maybe this is kind of a gauge for them, being like, listen, we ran out. Maybe we need to do 75. So I'm going to let them do their thing, and I'm just going to buy some stuff.
You're definitely going to have people saying, but you said never, below 100,000, right? But the way I look at it is it proves that they're willing to change their thoughts on what they said before. And one of the comments I actually had to address recently on my channel was about quality changing over time, right? The question specifically was, why did it take 5 sets to, get to the quality we're at now, right? But when you consider the fact that the sets go to the printers one right after another, Seance went to the printer 2 weeks after UFO, you're not looking at one set to the next for your improvements or your ability to see how things went to make adjustments for the next set. You're looking 2 sets out, right? And Wilderness was the first set at 100,000, and now we're seeing 2 sets after that. They're deciding, okay, well, with everything we have going on, let's lower that to 50,000. So I think it further proves that they're able to look at the data that they're collecting from stuff going out, the feedback from the community, and then saying, okay, we do need to make this adjustment.
Yeah. And along those lines, I always think change is good. If you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're just going to keep producing the same results. A little change here and there, I think always could benefit. And something I said off camera before the episode is that I think it's fine with whatever Mike said. Even if he did say he wouldn't lower it, I don't remember the exact quotes, but I believe whatever he said during the time he said it, he had the best intentions. I know there's been times in my life where I have said things where I intended it to happen the way I said, and I wanted everything to go as planned, and it might not have been. It might have just been outside circumstances or something like that. You know, it might have been something out of my control. You know, whatever it may be. And I think also you reserve the right to change your mind. You know, Deadly was on the team, you know, before Casters Cup. How many times did I change my mind about what deck I was going to run? You know,
yeah, absolutely. You know? I'm a little bit more surprised that nobody realizes how crazy it is to feel entitled in a company that you don't own or have no control over. We have Discord now, and you can go in Discord and you can start saying stuff. I mean, like I messaged Mike today and he answered me. I'm like, all right, dude, cool. Like, he answers you and he communicates, which is really cool. And I just threw out some little suggestion, something that I thought was cool. And he was like, absolutely, this sounds awesome. So I actually am excited to see if it ever even comes into fruition, you know, if it actually goes through with it.
Yeah.
But when there was a world where we never had a say, I mean, you have stockholders and people like that, but this isn't a company. I mean, I guess you have the NFTs and that falls under stock, I guess, but I don't know. It's
not
very
really,
strange.
Not really. We're just
promoting.
I guess.
No, absolutely. It's like investing into a company. It's like a.
It is without the stock, though, you know. But you got the NFT. You got the NFT though. That's what you got.
Yeah, you get discounts. You get pre-releases and everything like that, and you do get insider information, which is great.
So yeah, on that note, again, this goes with print runs as well. I was able to get the 4th of July promo because of the fact that I had an NFT. I was on vacation during the 4th of July. By the time I saw that there even was that promotion and stuff, I was, you know, drinking a beer, you know, having a burger and stuff, and everybody in the Discord's like, "Did you get one? Did you get one?" And I'm like, "Get what?"
Sometimes you miss them.
And then they were like, "You could get one because you have this NFT," and I was like, way to go, you know. so it was my way to invest in a way, you know.
It's all worth it.
Yep. Yeah, it really was. But
long enough timeline, an NFT outweighs itself by far.
But we could go on about the NFTs for a while. That would be a whole nother episode. So yeah, with that, I guess you know, we've all kind of said our piece on the print runs and everything like that. So I think we're good to just close out the episode. So with that, Deadly, do you have any closing thoughts that doesn't have to go over this topic? You know, just anything you want to say to the people? Yeah,
I mean, come play in the Discord. Message me, Deadly. Tell me you want to play. We'll come play any day of the week. Just let me know.
All right. The One-Eyed Crow, any last final words from you?
Just get an NFT because they're awesome. I agree with everything you said. No, but seriously, I don't regret getting my NFTs. No, I think we covered everything that all the thoughts I had around the print runs.
Awesome. So yeah, with that then, guys, I just want to let everybody know that the link to our Discord will be in the description below. You will also be able to find the One-Eyed Crow's channel, Cryptid Nation News, his link down in the description below. And as I mentioned earlier in the episode, you'll also find the affiliate link for Immortal Workshop, our sponsor, in the description. And I just want to invite everybody, you know, like I said, like Deadly said, just come play in the Discord. We do have an event every Friday that I host. It's a learn to play event for anybody who is not familiar with the game, who wants to learn the fundamentals of the game. You could just watch somebody who's more experienced play and tell us, you know, time out, what's happening here, and ask us any questions that you want. So you feel free to join that on the Play Network. It's just Caster's Corner Learn to Play event. You'll be able to see our logo there and everything. So that will be in the description as well. And that's every Friday night in our Discord. But we're just looking to play any night of the week. So just join the Discord, and you could tag Deadly Said, tag him. You could tag me, Caster MJ.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
trying
much
to play after
anybody-
this.
Yeah, pretty much anybody. You'll see us if we have the team role in the Discord. If you just tag any team member, pretty much, we're looking to play. But yeah, guys, really appreciate everybody coming, listening to this episode. It's been a fun one for us, and we'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.
See you guys.